You at war with Marco Rubio right now?
I am at war with ISIS, with radical Islamic terrorism, with Iran, with those who want to murder Americans. Listen, it's not surprising that you're seeing other candidates attacking us. You know, a couple of weeks ago, there's a big New York Times article where it talked about how conservatives are uniting behind our campaign. We're leading in Iowa by a big margin. We're seeing conservatives coming together. And the New York Times, the Rubio campaign told the Times they were panicking. They were very concerned because if conservatives continued to unite behind our campaign, they would lose. So it shouldn't be surprising to see their campaign attacking us relentlessly. And there is a difference. Their attacks are false. And by the way, just in the last 24 hours, Senator Mike Lee has come out publicly and said, Marco Rubio's attacks are 100% false. What Ted is saying is the truth. Jeff Sessions has come out publicly and said, Marco Rubio's attacks are 100% false. Ted is telling the truth. Rush Limbaugh today said Rubio's attacks are 100% false. Ted is telling the truth. And I'm a big believer, Ed, that truth will out.
Okay, I want to talk to you and get some truth for you on Muslims in America. Very pointed question. What do you say to American Muslims, the people who live in this country, the policemen, the firefighters, the people who are here, to make them believe that you are on their side? Because right now there's a backlash against them, and American Muslims feel that the Republican Party does not have their best interest at heart, and all you want to do is kick them out of the country. What do you say to them?
What I say is we need a president whose first obligation is to protect the American people, to keep this country safe. We're at a time of war, and we've got a president who sticks his head in the sand, who refuses to acknowledge it. We have a president who refuses even to say the words radical Islamic terrorism. Hillary Clinton and all of the Democrats, they refuse to say the words radical Islamic terrorism. ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra, Boko Haram, the regime in Iran, all of them are radical Islamic terrorists. All of them have declared jihad on America. They've said their intention is to murder as many Americans as possible.
But how do you then look at the American Muslims, the people who are here, who were born here, and they're fearful right now that you and other members of the GOP just want to shovel them out of the country?
Well, let's be clear. They have some fear that's being stoked up by the Democrats. So following the Paris attack, following the attack in San Bernardino, President Obama gives a national TV address, and he's not outraged at the terrorist. He doesn't even say the words radical Islamic terrorism. Instead, he says the great danger is Islamophobia. What utter nonsense. Look, there's nobody targeting innocent, peaceful Muslims in America. There are, however, radical Islamic terrorists, both in the Middle East and here in America, that are trying to murder innocent Americans. And by the way, they're trying to murder Christians, they're trying to murder Jews, they're trying to murder Muslims. They are willing to murder anyone who doesn't embrace Islamism. And Islamism is different from a faith. Islamism is a theocratic and political doctrine, the proponents of which believe that Sharia law should be mandated by law, and that they are commanded to wage jihad and to forcibly convert or murder anyone that doesn't embrace their radical Sharia law Islamist view.
So is that what you have to say to these people? Join me.
Yes.
Don't think I'm fighting against you now. Help me fight against the people that want to kill you as well. You've got to get that across, and that doesn't seem to be getting across, though.
Listen, what's getting across is that we have a president and commander-in-chief utterly unfit to defend this nation. You know, when Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General, following San Bernardino, said what she's most afraid of is language condemning radical Islamic terrorism. What? And she said, we will prosecute you. You know, the last time I checked, we had a First Amendment. We had free speech in this country, the Bill of Rights. We deserve an Attorney General whose first instinct in a terror attack is not, don't let anyone say this is Islamic terrorism. We need an Attorney General who says, we will stop this. And you know, it's not just a semantic issue. There are real-life consequences to refusing to acknowledge this. Let's go back to Fort Hood in Texas.
Okay.
San Bernardino, 14 innocent souls were murdered. The last terrorist attack that took 14 innocent souls on U.S. soil was Fort Hood. Now, Nidal Hasan, the Obama administration knew that Nidal Hasan was communicating with Anwar al-Awlaki. He's a known radical Islamic cleric. They knew that he had inquired about the permissibility of waging jihad, about trying to murder his fellow soldiers. And yet the Obama administration did nothing. They sat back, and it was because political correctness. They said, oh, we can't intrude on this. And then Nidal Hasan walked through Fort Hood yelling Aloha Akbar as he murdered 14 innocent souls. You know what should have happened if they weren't so tied up with political correctness? When they find a soldier communicating with a radical Islamic cleric asking about murdering fellow soldiers, MPs should have showed up right there and taken him into custody. So in addition to giving a speech about Islamophobia, what was President Obama and the media's reaction to San Bernardino? We need to take away the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms of law-abiding citizens. That's completely misguided. We don't stop the bad guys by taking away our guns. We stop the bad guys by using our guns. We are safe because we are an informed and we are an armed citizenry. And the problem with the Obama administration, it's captured right there, is over and over again, they focus on trying to strip the liberties of law-abiding citizens rather than targeting the terrorists. You look at Nidal Hasan. After that attack, the Obama administration characterized that as, quote, workplace violence. You know, one of the things I'm most proud about that I've led on the Senate is that I introduced legislation to mandate that the Purple Heart be awarded to those soldiers who were murdered at Fort Hood.